By the way, they talk about Israel is the reason why the Middle East was at peace. You know why the Middle East was at peace? It wasn't Israel. It was because of the Shah of Iran. The Middle East was at peace when the Shah was in charge. That's when Iran ran the world. That's when Iran was the reason why there was nothing going on in the Middle East. The first time you ever heard the statement, Markbat Amerika, happened in 78 by Khomeini's camp. Pre-78, you would have never heard those phrases from Iran. Iran would have been somewhere like right now, you know how we're sitting there talking, saying, where are we going for Christmas? Yeah. You know what the conversation would have been? Let's go to Iran. I'm being serious with you. We would have said, let's go to Iran. Let's go to Iran. Let's hang out there with the family. Let's go stay at the Four Seasons. Let's go stay at Hilton. Let's go stay by the mountains. Let's go skiing. Have you seen the skiing, what Iran looks like? You ever seen the mountains of Iran?
Ridiculous.
Have you seen what skiing Iran? Go skiing in Iran. And this is Iran. People don't realize. That is Iran. Wow. That's not Aspen. That is not, Montana. That's Iran, okay? Iran was a place that was heaven on earth until these Hezbollahs, Khomeini, these people showed up, and it changed. That is a proven case study. So as much as Israel wants to take credit for the Middle East being at peace, you know how the Shah was? Here's how the Shah was. The Shah was slightly different than even Netanyahu, because I'll take a complete different position here. The Shah got so powerful, so strong in the Middle East that nobody wanted to fight. With Israel, every once in a while, there's what? There's fights.
Right. Yeah.
With the Shah, top 5 military in the world, everybody's like, look, man, you do not want to cross the line with the Shah. Peace, peace, peace. And then the 25-year oil renewal contract was coming up in 1979. Hey, man, we got to make sure the Shah falls. Jimmy Carter, Shah falls. Contract, it's a mess. Then, comes Saddam Hussein, comes Khomeini, comes all this stuff. It's a mess. Ever since Jimmy Carter went to Iran to do a toast with the Shah, December 31st of 1977, the Middle East has been a shit show. Ever since. This is the toast. Rob, if you want to pull it up, Carter and the Shah. Ever since this toast, this is the day. The last time the Middle East was at peace was this day. Wow. Pull up this day. That's the day. Okay? That is the last time the Middle East was at peace. December 31st, 1977. Jimmy Carter praises Iran as a what? An island of stability. What? What'd you say? Iran, an island of stability? Yes. A Democratic president called Iran an island of flippin' stability. Then what happens? They leave. Hey, man, these guys are getting a little too powerful. He takes a shot at the blue-eyed people. And you know what he said about the blue-eyed people? Can you pull up the video about blue-eyed people? Just type in Shah, blue-eyed people. Okay? Type in blue-eyed people. Just go to YouTube, Shah, blue-eyed people. Watch this, videos. Okay? How long is this? 53.
53 seconds.
Okay, go for it. Play this. Watch this. Audio, Rob?
Audio. Shut it off.
Out of, candidly, Your Majesty, is there no element, not of revenge, because that is not a noble impulse, but at least some element of satisfaction in seeing the giants of the West in some disarray?
Well, no, because their disarray is, I think, needs a restructure of their society.
The brown-eyed peoples are teaching the blue-eyed peoples something, is that?
Well, no, we are not teaching something. The blue-eyed people have to wake up.
Wake up to?
From their
sleeping pills.
Complacency for this torpor in which they put themselves by taking maybe too many sleeping pills.
You know when he said that? You know what year that is, Rob? Is that 74 or 77? Can you see what the date is on that? It's either 74 or 77. This is the last time the Middle East was at peace. The Democratic Party, Carter, whose campaign was Human Rights Movement, which was a noble movement, good guy, caused him to fall. After he falls, what happens? The Middle East has never been at peace since December 31st of 1977. Correct. We can talk about all the stuff that we want. And even Jews sometimes want to give a lot of credit for Israel. Pre-Israel was doing what they were doing. Iran was bringing a peace. And by the way, Iran had a very good relationship with Israel. And he was not a fan of Zionists. Mm-hmm. Have you heard what he said about Zionists? No. Can you pull up Shah of Iran on Zionists? You've never heard what he said about this?
I may have, Pat, but I can't recall the whole thing.
Shah of Iran Zionist. Watch this. That's the one. That's the clip. It's too long, Rob. You have to realize, I have a book coming out in September. It's a book I've been working on for 14 years. The character in the book is an Assyrian kid named Asher, whose mother is Armenian, who is about a secret society that recruits kids and develops them into future leaders of the world. As it got closer that this book was being released, in the book, one of the villains in the book is a former director of Savak. Savak is the Mossad, the CIA of Iran.
Still to this day, they're
Savak was, not after Khomeini.
Got you.
Do you know who contacted me and said, I have to have a meeting with you?
Who?
The former director of Savak.
So this guy's like he was
came
dangerous.
to the house, and me and my wife and this guy and his wife, he spent 8-9 hours with me. Wow. We talked about the good, bad, ugly of what happened with Iran to follow all this stuff because of this book, okay? Wow. And he says, how do you know me that you're depicting me as the person in the book here? Because he read the book. Somebody handed him the book. And we sat there and he says, am I the villain? Are you talking about me? And by the way,
excuse me,
he's the main bad guy?
I wrote about him as the character of the villain prior to ever talking to him or meeting him.
Wow. How did he like the book?
Oh, he couldn't believe the book when it came out. So, but the point here is, sometimes Jews want to take a lot of credit for, Middle East, all this. I got to tell you guys, if you're watching this a little bit on the Israeli Jews, folks, okay, the Middle East was at peace when Iran was in charge. Okay, I'm just telling you. Middle East was at peace when the Shah was running Iran and everybody and their mothers would go to Iran and visit. Okay? And Mossad and Savak were closely together. Mossad, Savak, MI6, and CIA would all train each other, just so you know. Savak was trained by Mossad, was trained by CIA, was trained by MI6, and then Iran's destroyed. Then comes, the new Iran, the Hezbollahs, the Houthis, all this stuff. And then the Middle East has been a mess. The contest we announced with Manek, guys, is a contest that's very unique. A lot of you who have big plans of 2024 where you want to do second half of the year, this contest that was announced, effective July 1st, goes till August 31st. The winners of this contest will have a chance to meet Dwayne Johnson and also be invited to be on stage, recognized in front of nearly 10,000 people, where people are going to see you on stage, 10,000 people, your face with your Manek handle for people to be close to you. This is an opportunity for you to network with thousands of people, of them directly knowing who you are. And the way to compete for this is either you're an expert and people ask you questions, or either you compete as a user asking others questions. Right now, in the lightweight category, the leader right now is Bryce Mitchell, UFC fighter. Number 2 is Caleb Altmaier, which Caleb is a pastor, I believe, out of Washington or Portland's got a big mission. He buys strip clubs and builds it into facilities to create rehabs for dancers, which is very interesting. What he's doing. For trafficking, yes. And then you have Jose Alvarenga, who is third place for lightweight. Rob, if you can zoom in a little bit. Middleweight, we have right now, as the ranking goes, Samuel Riley, then we have Matten Hakar, and then we have Aaron Borgman at third place. Heavyweight, we have Dennis Panev, then it's Candace Owens, then Dr. Calvin Ing. Home team, Vinny crushing it as usual. And then you have new users, signups. Mark Cook, first place, then it's Ronald Silsky, and then Russell Morgan, and existing users, Shah, Matthew, user 0, have asked the most questions. If you haven't yet started participating in this, we had a client reach out to me the other day, ended up being a $100 million client business for somebody I refer to. There are people asking questions about homeschooling, parenting, kids, marriage, finance, preparing for an interview, many business questions, day-to-day questions, political questions. When in the election season, have you ever seen a season where you can go ask some of the biggest influencers on politics, what do you think about it, Cuomo? What do you think about it, Candace? What do you think about it, Tulsi? And they respond back to you. Never in the history of America have we had a time like this that you can actually be able to communicate with some of the biggest influencers on the left, right, and the center and says, what are your thoughts on this? To be able to make better decisions for your family. The QR code at the top is right there. Download the QR code. And if you got any questions here for the folks on the panel, Rob, if you want to pull up the Manek handle for the 4 folks we have here, any one of these, you can ask me, Vinny, Adam, or Tom any questions that you have.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.